Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Slabbed Crusade. My name is James. I'm the owner of Slabbed Crusaders, and I've got two more boxes here to unbox of CGC returns. So let's get into it. This box will contain a lot of this comic, World Tree Issue 1. This is the corrected version. This whole box is a box full of 9/8s. But again, just want to inspect all the slabs, just so you can see that cover. Again, it's going to be very hard to actually see, even though it's corrected. You can still see how dark it is. To be honest with this cover, I didn't really see any issue that they should have recalled all the other ones and corrected them. The cover looked fine, as even in darker state. The issues I had with actually trying to source the corrected version was just absolutely insane, mainly just because of the supplier for comics in the UK being incredibly incompetent, where I'd these placed in order from advanced orders, was told to get rid of the recalled versions and they would replace them, and weeks upon weeks went by. I was actually watching other YouTubers who had not only got their first print or the new versions of them, the corrected versions, they were also then getting a third corrected version sent to them. So they had their second version of them sent and then a third version of them sent. And I eventually said enough was enough and had to go and source them myself from stores in America, which is not ideal at all. Again, I don't know how the main comic distributor for the UK can somehow mess this up so much so often, but they can and they will continue to do it because they have no reason to up their game with no competition in the UK to speak of. So I haven't really been saying what each comic is, but as you can see when I put them in there, World Tree #1, cover A, all 9/8s. So far, so good with the condition of the actual comics themselves. So same thing again. All look good. So I'll keep going through them. And we can start to. There's no point in putting them the same comic up. I'll just start to put them in the box to put them away. And let's see then. It's weird that I kind of want something to be wrong with one of them so I can have something else to show you on the camera. But yeah, no, they're doing a good job with these. Again, touching this, very, very strange that they done that whole recall thing. Didn't charge anybody extra for them, so it was very good of Image to be doing that. But if all it was just to change the dark cover to a slightly less dark cover, I don't think they needed to do it. You never know, could have been a marketing ploy. It certainly worked. It got a ton of people talking about the book, which I have been following and reading, and I think it's been amazing. Up next then we have something slightly different. We've got Warlock Rebirth #1, the Ron Lim cover, and as I mentioned earlier, everything in this box was 9/8. But again, I always like to just look at Marvel just so I can compare it to anything I said from DC. But this one is just flawless, so yeah, no problems with that. Slab itself all good, nice and sealed at the top. And we're back to our World Trees #1. There's quite a lot of them in this. People have had to wait quite a long time for this, to be honest. Out in April, and only getting it in really now. And again, I solely blame the distributor in the UK. They just, it's insane some of the things you have to do for them, for them to allow you to purchase off them. The amount of extra work that I have to do is just insane, correcting and fixing their mistakes, and then correcting and fixing mistakes that they make on mistakes as well. It's absolutely insane. Got something different though up here. We have Guardians of the Galaxy issue 1. This is the part of the Alex Ross set that was done. So you've got Victor Von Doom on the cover. Quite a lot of these, personally I didn't really like a lot of them. There was a few that did stand out, and to be honest, this one is one of them. That's a very, very nice cover from Alex Ross. And no surprises, we've got a few orders in for this, and this is another one of them, so I'm not going to put that up on the screen. I'll just put that one away in the box and just leave that one up there until we've got a new comic to replace it with, which we do right now. We have Captain America Unforgiven. This is issue 1, and again, just inspecting the slab, making sure that if any issue with it, I will get it fixed if I can. I suppose that is one thing that you can be thankful for CGC. If there is issues with any of the slabs that do arrive, they do tend to be very good with fixing them. I know there's a lot of perfectionists in the comic community, especially with collectors, where you'll see one wee small issue with a slab. It's so difficult what to call on it, to be honest. Like, if there's the smallest tiny little crack on the slab, it shouldn't really matter, to be honest. For instance, this one here has a very, very small little scrape. I'm going to see if I can actually show this on the screen. I don't think it's going to pop up, but it has a tiny, tiny little scrape. You might be able to see even just a wee small dent of it right there where my finger is. I've had somebody before actually complain about that, and to be honest, like, there's nothing you can really do about that. I wouldn't waste my money reholdering it. But this one, we have another Alex Ross cover, and we have the Vulture for Amazing Spider-Man 24. Back to World Tree number 1. Again, not going to show it. I've shown enough of them. I think you'll get the idea of what they look like. I'll just place that one into the box to the side. I said this box is mainly them. I think there's about maybe 15 of them in there. It was quite a popular slab choice for a lot. Up next then we have Star Wars Return of the Jedi. This is Ewoks issue 1. And who does the cover of this? Ryan Brown does the cover of this. Ryan Brown being a local artist. Well, to me, not to everybody. There we go, that's a nice slab. I'll put that one up, and then I'll probably start to get a few of these put back in the box just so we can make way for the last few. So I'll start to place these back in. It's always good to be nice and careful when setting them back in, because you never know what could end up damaging them. Do we have many more World Trees? We kind of do. I'll get through them, so well. So there's 4 more, and then with 4 different comics that I can place up on the screen. So I'll leave the World Tree up on the screen while I look through these next 4. Again, everything kind of looks fine. From this batch there was one World Tree that was sent back to be fixed. The way I worked this, I sent off a few extra to be graded primarily for the Christmas boxes, so a few of these will be going in, but the one that has been sent back was a customer one. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swap out one that I sent off myself for them, so they don't have to wait forever for it to come back and I can just wait for it. Again, that will be something that I don't do just for this individual customer, I do for everybody. If I have a spare copy of it, I'll just take it, where I'll take the one that's been sent back. You can have the one that's in hand and ready to go. I'm not trying to make it out that that's special, and I'm pretty sure all stores would do that, but I just want to make you aware that it has been done. So World Tree 1 again, same cover, corrected version. Again, everything in this box, 98. And that's another one that's ready to go. And then the final World Tree 1. This one does have a few Newton rings on it. Again, if I sent that back to CGC, they're not going to fix that. It's only if it really, really messes with the slab. I will try and see, can you see it here? You can see it a wee tiny bit there in the middle, so roughly about here. But they're not going to do much with that. I think they're even distancing themselves more and more from it, where they're just at a stage, I have a feeling they're going to basically flat out to refuse to fix any of them. Which is a shame. They can't really completely eradicate it. Up next then we have Ji-Hung Lee cover for She-Hulk 12, and to be honest, this is probably one of my favourite covers of the year. Absolutely beautiful, stunning cover. And the slab is in just as good a condition. So I can throw that up. Slightly something nicer to look at than constantly looking at World Tree number 1s. Up next then we have Hellcat number 2. This is the Zulu variant. And everything looks fine with that. So after I'm done with this video, I actually have 3 boxes of mechanical errors that have been returned. So I'm going to try and see, can I do a live video for them? Just to see how it goes. It might be a complete car wreck. No one might turn up. Haven't even put it up that I'm going to do it yet. I'm going to be just do it sort of last moment type thing, see what happens. We've got up next then we have Guardians of the Galaxy 1. This is a Scotty Young cover. Again, this one has a small little sort of scrape along the top, but it's small enough that CGC aren't going to fix that. Unless you pay them to. So there's not much that I can really do about that, unfortunately. I wonder, will it show up a wee bit better than the last one? Let's see if we can get it there. It's on a white background, so it might be very difficult to see. Yeah, no, it's not going to be visible at all with a white background. But as you can see where I was pointing the camera at there, it's quite a small scrape. It's literally about there, this here size. There's not much that you're going to be able to do with that. And to be honest, if you pay for a reholder, it could just come back just as bad, or if it not even worse. I've had that happen before. Again, quality control, I'm not too sure what quality control actually does. I think it's maybe a delaying tactic they just do to buy themselves a wee bit more time. This one then we have Stoneheart issue 2. and this cover A, and again perfect, 9.8. Which is, there's the cover for it there. So I can very quickly just pass these up. And I will then get on to the next box. I'm going to put these away. So after I've done this, I will start to put them again into these boxes in behind me. But before I actually do that, I'll get the emails all fired out of if your slab has passed or failed. Vast majority here are passing. There's maybe, I think it's 2 so far that have failed. So it seems to be okay. So let me just scroll over to this next box then. Okay, and we'll get started with it into it. So this one will have a lot of the Gary Frank spoiler covers. And we do have quite a few different ranges of grades in this. Not everything's 98 basically. Up first we've got just the cover A. Got a 9.6. Again, I just want to have a quick look at it to see why we got a 9.6. These covers, the ones that you're about to see, I think I've sent them in a wee bit too early, because I did send in then a batch afterwards, and every single one of them got a 98, and to be honest, I would put them as slightly worse off than the ones that were sent in the first time. But yeah, I can see why this got a 9.6. It has a small wee nick down in the bottom corner here. Either I've missed it when I'm sending in, or to be honest, like if you're just taking them out of the anything, the bag and board, anything could happen. Them just the smallest wee nick, and it will knock it down. Up next, then we have Vampirella versus the Superpowers issue 1. This one got a 9.4. And from looking at it, very hard to see why it got a 9.4. Just having a look again at the slab as well, just to see everything. The front of it looks fine. The back of it looks fine. The corners all look good. I'm not too sure. This is one thing with them as well. They don't really provide grader notes. Really not too sure what's happening with this one. There's the tiniest hint of spine roll on it, so that could be potentially why it has been dropped down. But yeah, I think 9.4 is maybe a bit harsh on that. Maybe a 9.6. But very nice cover. I believe I had the metal cover in the previous video. But here we have then the spoiler variant that wasn't really a spoiler variant because it was just a black cover for Amazing Spider-Man 26. And spoiler for everybody out there, it was the death of Ms. Marvel, which, as everybody was really shocked by, they brought back to life within a few weeks. So this one has a small little, in fact that's not even a crack, that's just a tiny bit of glue. Yeah, that's a tiny bit of glue. So that's completely fine. This cover will obviously thrill everybody with how amazing it looks. It's just a solid black cover. So we have quite a few of them. I'm going to see if I can pull them out, and instead of showing them all, I'll just take a quick look at them myself. Yeah, another one here, we've got 98 on it. If I get one that has a different grade, I'll try and put it up for you so you can see it. But I'm now able to then fill another box here with these. So same thing again, in fact that one's a 9.6. Let's see, why did this one get a 9.6? Yeah, very again. This was the first batch I sent in that I thought were all 9/8s. I'm really struggling to see where you've marked this down to a 9/6. Let's see the back of it. Yeah, again, this is one that if I resubmitted this is a 9/8 all day. It's a trend I've noticed with CGC. If you tend to send in comics as soon as they come out, they sometimes they're a wee bit harsher with the grades. And I'm not too sure why, to be honest, but that one's a 9/6. And if I was to put it up the camera and run around it very, very closely, you would see it's exactly the same as the 9/8 behind it. Same comic again, 9/8 in this one. It's like just absolutely identical to the other one. Unless there's some issue that I'm just not seeing at all with it, but like there's no even like minimal ticks or anything. Just at times I think they just go, oh, you're getting too many 9/8s, let's just give you a 9/6 for the crack. We've got another one here of same comic again, 9/8. Looks fine, slab. It has small little, again, very small little cracks where the two bits of plastic join together. Again, I'll keep saying it's a tough one. Do you really want to go down the road of grading the quality of the slab that the comic comes in? It is protected, it's sealed. If it has small, I can understand cracks that have the plastic broke and they're very, very visible, but the ones that are on the side where they join together, that's so difficult, especially with hard plastic, to try and get it completely right all the time, especially with the volume that they do as well. But here's one that's going to be sent back. I'm pretty sure near enough every single cover I've got of this has had to be sent back, simply because there's a loose bit of plastic floating around on the inside. And you don't want that because it could eventually damage the book. I'm not too sure if you can hear it. It's thrilling TV this, anyway, but there's a small little bit of plastic, so I'm going to be sending that one back, and I'll just make a note of it. The person's going to be gutted as well. But yeah, I'd far rather they get a proper slab, a fixed slab, than something that's not correct. So I'm just setting that off to the side. Let's see if this trend continues with this cover. There's 2 more in here, 3 more in here actually, and we've got another one. I said every one I've had of these I've had to send back so far. Have we bucked the trend already? There doesn't seem to be anything moving about. This cover is absolutely stunning as well. I think it was maybe DC's best cover of the year. But it's hard to say that with DC. DC, in my opinion, outperform Marvel 10-1 when it comes to covers. What we have is DC Pride 2023. Issue 1, the Bartel foil. So this one did pass. I said I've got a few of these in here, so I'll see if I can pull them all out. And then we'll go back to our lovely Spider-Man 26s. Where are the rest of them? In fact, when I was counting this, I noticed there was 1 or 2 of these that were missing that could have potentially been sent back by the London manager, so we will work that out. At the moment, this one is looking good as well. Same comic, same result, 9/8. Again, absolutely stunning comic. I've got, I think, 2 of these for my own personal collection as well, because I did really enjoy the cover myself. In fact, no, I've got one, and then one's going to be going into the good old Christmas box. We'll go for something different then. Up next we have Power Girl Special Issue 1. This is the Art Germ variant. This is not the foil, this is just the regular variant. There's two big reasons why this was quite a popular cover for everybody. Everything looks good with it. And, Art Germ really knows how to highlight what sells. So that's one copy of it. I then have another. Again, got the same result, where it got a 98. And everything looks good with it. So again, no point in showing it there, it's already up on the screen. But we'll put that one away. And we even have another World Tree #1. This time though, this is the second printing. Again, second printing, but that cover's still very, very dark. I'm surprised they didn't recall the second printing. Everything seems fine with it. The only real way to tell then the second printing apart is just issue 1 over here is red. Up next then we have Venom Lethal Protector 2, issue 3. And this is just the cover A's of them, I believe. Yep, cover A. We've got 98 in it. And yeah, everything looks fine with it as well. So that's quite a nice cover. I'll put it up and then I'll start to put some of these away, just so we can get the last few on screen. Quite a nice cover. So let's just put a few of these away before we continue. I'll just stop it there and we'll go back to adding on top of it. Up next then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the Saturday Morning Adventures, issue 1, cover A. We got a 98 in it, and everything looks fine so far with the slab. I just heard a wee small noise, but again I think that's just the inner casing. When it's, sometimes it does move a wee tiny bit and has that sort of noise to it. Yeah, that looks completely fine. Never really picked up that series, but I do know quite a few people who are on it in the raw format, so I think it should be a good read. We then have a 9.6, and again, if we were judging this, basically, let me actually see. So this potentially why this has got a 9.6 is maybe I have packed this a little bit too tight with this Vampirella comic. So this one has a small bit of spine roll, as does this, and one gets a 9.4, one gets a 9.6, but the rest of the comics look completely fine. So again, that's part of the thing with grading, very, very subjective at times. Could be how you just get out of bed. You might, one day you'll see something as a 9.6, the other times you'll see it as 9.4s. Up next then we have Rocketeer One Shot. This is the Adam Hughes cover, I believe. Yeah, Adam Hughes. This was a bit of a sleeper for a lot of people. A lot of people missed this one. I picked up a few. Adam Hughes always puts out very nice covers, so I thought I might as well pick up a few. But yeah, everything's fine with it. Got a 9.8. Quite nice cover. Didn't read the series, so honestly not too sure on anything about it. We then also have another copy of this the exact same comic, and yeah, everything looks fine with that. So that's good. Put that away, and we've got 5 more to go, and that will finish it for this. Up next we have Doctor Strange. We've got an In-hook Lee cover. We've got 9.6. Let's see, can I figure out why they give you a 9.6? Potentially for that. So yeah, I have a feeling it's simply because there's one small little spine tick. It's white cover, very hard to tell if it breaks colour. I don't think it does, but I can see why this was given a 9.6. But again, I have seen other comics where they've given 9.8s for that. Until machines are doing this for us, you're always going to have small differences for human error. But to me, that's a 9.6, yeah. When I'm looking at it now through the slab, can't complain about that. Up next we have then a 9.8 of the same comic. And I'll take back what I said about can't complain about that 9.6, simply because this one has the exact same spine tick in it. And yet this one gets a 9.8. So go figure with that. As I said, it's good that it's interesting actually whenever you send off multiple copies of the same comic. I've done experiments before I opened the store where I was sending off multiple covers that all had slightly different errors to them, and it was astonishing some of the results you get. There was some batches they all came back with 9.8s. There was other batches that came back 9.4, 9.6, 9.8. There's no exact science to this. It is subjective. But we've got another copy of Power Girl Special 9.8. Yeah, and everything looks fine with that. So I believe I was talking about those DC Prides where she had 4, and only 3 have shown up. So I believe one of them has been sent back by CGC themselves to be fixed. Again, they don't tell you. They've literally just sent me an email saying there was a few comics that were taken out of the parcels that have been sent back, and it's a guessing game until you get your boxes back what you have. Up next then we have Ms. Spider-Man 26, again the Gary Frank cover, the spoiler variant. This has got 9.8. Again, I was astonished that some of these got 9.6s. It's very hard to not notice if there's an issue with that cover. And then the final one was a 9.8 as well. So same comic, same outcome, 9.8. So that's it for those 2 boxes. I said this is all quite new to me doing all of this, so let me know what you think, what I could do to improve it. I'm going to get better cameras. The iPads just don't really live up to it. I'm going to try out the live format here in probably the next hour, see what it's like with the mechanical errors. I'm going to put a Facebook post up about it, see if I can get a few people in, even get a bit of a chat going, see what it's like, because again, just give it a go, see what it's like. Might not be for me, but hopefully these provide a bit of more of an insight, give you a bit more of a face to what happens here at Slabbed Crusaders. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you later.